All right, what up, y'all? So, yesterday I made a video explaining how I want the Falcons to get blown out by the Panthers tomorrow. And merely for the one reason of that's the only message that I think we can send at this point to the front office that there needs to be change. Now, I didn't expect a lot of people to agree with me because I'm rooting for my own team to lose. And at surface level, as a fan, you shouldn't do that. But then I started thinking again. I saw a lot of people saying, as a Falcons fan, you shouldn't be wanting the Falcons to lose, which is completely understandable. You know what I'm saying? This is not to get in an argument with that because you're right in that sense. But as a Falcons fan, we're hoping that the Saints win. Our playoff hopes lay in the hands of our rival. So isn't that bad too? Isn't that worse? I'd much rather have the hope that my team goes out there and just sends a message to our front office, not go out there and throw the game, no. But that's the thing. As Falcons fans, we're hoping that the Saints win. And if we make it to the playoffs, it's on the Saints. So now Saints fans get to say, y'all only made it to the playoffs because we helped you. Are y'all prepared for that? Is that going to work for you? And this is what I asked in the video yesterday. If the Falcons were a team that deserved to be in the playoffs, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. That's what I've been having the hardest time figuring out. I understand everyone wanting to play. Well, I really don't understand it, but I can see where you're coming from, because every team, every fan of every team wants to make it into the playoffs. But we're not in the position to make the playoffs because we haven't been a good team in the second half of the year. So why in the world, at the chance that we do have making the playoffs, let me be honest with you, we already dropped it. We already lost our chance. You know what I'm saying? And that is what I was. That's what I was trying to convey in the video yesterday. And I don't know if I did a good job on that. And I'm doubling down on what I said, though. You feel me? I do want the Falcons to lose tomorrow. Because I saw them this is weird because Super Bowl teams haven't been built in 1 year and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's all fine and dandy. You can bring me every example of a coach that had a bad year 1 year and then turned it around next year. That's cool. I'm not here to talk about hypotheticals, maybe this, maybe that. This could happen next season. I'm not worried. Anything could happen next season. We could go 17-0 next season if we're just saying things that could maybe happen. If we were a playoff team, we would be in the playoffs. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If we were a playoff team, we will be in the playoffs. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We wouldn't be hoping that our division rival, our biggest rival in the entire league, we wouldn't be hoping that they give us a late Christmas gift and get us into the playoffs, where we're inevitably going to lose to a team that is better than us. And that's what I've been trying to figure out. No one has been able to explain to me what happens after Sunday if the Falcons find a way into the playoffs. All I hear is, oh, we got to make it to the playoffs. For what? For what? If our coach has already showed he is incompetent in the regular season, what makes you think he's going to turn into Bill Belichick in the playoffs? So we make it to the playoffs. We get all the pomp, the circumstance, the video packages, the press conferences. We get all that to lose to a team that we probably played earlier in the season. So we can say, oh, at least we made it. That's cheap. That's cheap, bro. And I was like, oh, wouldn't you rather make it to the playoffs? No. In my brain, we already missed the train because we're waiting for the Saints to beat the Buccaneers. We're watching two of our division rivals fight and hoping that the one that we hate the most helps us. Does that make any sense to y'all? You know what I'm saying? And again, if your mind is set on just wanting the Falcons to win, that's perfectly fine. I completely understand that. I am not here to argue with that because, again, Falcons fans want the Falcons to win. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at it from a different Falcon fan's perspective of like, we got to cut our losses at some point. We have to realize we're just not good enough this year. And I much rather take the loss now than take the loss when the whole world is watching. Having to go through the week of predictions and ESPN all to go out there and get embarrassed. Because we're not. Imagine we get past the wild card and divisional and stuff like that. We're not beating teams like, we're not beating the Eagles again. Because they found their stretch. We beat them earlier. I don't think they're going to let us beat them again. We're not beating teams like Minnesota and Detroit. We're not beating these teams. Because these are well-oiled machines. The Falcons are not a well-oiled machine. Those are teams with great coaching and great personnel. Barring the Eagles, I don't think their coach is that good. I think they just have really good personnel, but that's whatever. But like, that's what I'm saying. I'd much rather take this loss right now, realize that we're not a playoff team, and then go in the next season. This game at the end of the year against the Panthers, no matter how we lose, should not affect us this time next year. Oh, we lost to the Panthers in the last game of the year, so now we're sad. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Think about this. If I'm a bad Falcons fan for wanting the Falcons to lose, am I a good Falcons fan for wanting, if I wanted the Saints to win? That doesn't make any sense. We just spent all year hoping that the Saints lose everything, and they suck. So as much as we hate the Saints, now we have to put Saints jerseys on? Does that not get through to y'all? And some of y'all may be able to put it to the side for the sake of being a Falcons fan. I can't. I can't go watch the Saints and say touchdown and jump up and down and say good job, Saints. I can't do it. That I physically can't. So I don't know. Maybe y'all are stronger than I am. And if that's it, then that's it. You understand me? But it's just like, I'm not here to judge you for wanting the Saints to win. I promise I'm not. I'm just trying to make sure that y'all understand where I'm coming from. Because I know I'm not crazy. I don't want my team to get embarrassed when the lights are the brightest. I don't. I'd much rather us get out of here the safe way instead of going through the fire knowing that we're going to get burnt. Because the other teams, they have fire prevention suits on. We're going in there, just nothing. We're walking into the fire. We're just walking in there hoping that the fire that's right in front of us doesn't burn us. And not to mention, the dude who's supposed to lead us into the fire is walking backwards. In fact, he has kerosene all on him. The fire is the front office. They can't lead us into, like, we're supposed to be going into war. We're going into war with a general that's walking backwards. We're walking into war with a general who has no idea how to attack. And when we have a chance to attack, he does the opposite. So how in the world are we expected to win these battles? If we make it to the playoffs, if we beat the Panthers and the Saints by some way beat the Buccaneers and we walk into the playoffs, what makes you think Raheem Morris is going to turn to a good coach then? Are we a better Falcons team because we got blown out a week later than this week? Oh, we made it another week. So what? We played 18 weeks instead of 17. Let's hang a banner up. Huh? This is what I'm trying to say. And again, you can listen to this whole video and still feel that the Falcons have to win. You got it. You know what I'm saying? I completely understand. But I'm just here to tell you now, if it does happen, if the Falcons go out there and they make it to the playoffs, I hope this team doesn't collapse immediately. Because then I'm going to get really angry. Because then I'm going to be like, okay, I was purely explaining to y'all that this is what needed to happen. And we made it to the playoffs just to get embarrassed by a better team that was fully prepared for this moment. We're not prepared for the playoffs. The Falcons are not a playoff team, so we should not be playing in the playoffs. If we were a playoff team, like I said earlier, if we were a playoff team, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We would already be in here. And this wouldn't even be a talking point. So tomorrow's going to be interesting. I'm going to plan to do a watch along. Usually I'm sleep around that time because I work at night. So usually I'm sleep around that time, but I'll try my best to get up. If I'm not up by the time the game starts, I should be up at halftime. And then we'll just go from there. But I ask that y'all see where I'm coming from with this. You know what I'm saying? I understand the whole head coaching thing, and we should let him. Actually, no, I don't understand that. Raheem Morris is irreparable to me in my brain, so I don't want to see him next. I don't want to see him on that sideline next year. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I don't give a damn about giving the chance. I don't give a damn about whatever head coach did it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. All of that is irrelevant. I do not care. But if the Falcons don't make playoffs tomorrow, because say we beat the Panthers and the Buccaneers beat the Saints, that's the most realistic option here. We're going to go out there, beat the Panthers, because the Panthers suck too. We're better than the Panthers, you know what I'm saying? But go out there, beat the Panthers, Buccaneers win, we miss the playoffs. I'm not sad. If the Falcons win and we still miss the playoffs, that's cool with me. Because I want to avoid the playoffs at this point. Because we're not good enough. And I'd much rather us get to this point and realize we're not good enough than have a team that's already in there prove me right. That's that simple. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments down below, man. God bless y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow.